people, the right fits for you. And
you meet people along your journey, people from different walks of life. Maybe they from a different culture, they speak a different language, and you find a way to get along. Even though they say it's impossible, you should get along. So that's why I say it's a gift and a curse. I mean, going in the Navy,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I can totally see that. I think that also one of the things that is really exciting about things like that, is that you get to all of a sudden you expand really big, right? You have all these experiences. And so all these possibilities of who you could be. And then you get to pull back and really pick and choose the parts that resonate with you, right? And when you talk about making women come to you, right? Or when I talk about, being attractive to others, the most, the sexiest, most attractive people I know have excellent boundaries because they know who they are, right? So knowing who you are can help you cut out all those things that don't matter, that don't add value to your life and relationships. And so people see that, right? And I'm sure you can relate to this as well. And I'm sure you've probably talked about it on this show, how when you walk into a room and you just know it's going to be an amazing evening because that's the core of who you are.
Yeah.
People see that. They recognize that energy.
Yeah.
And they're attracted to it like moth to a flame. And that's why, when I talk about boundaries, the original title for my book, instead of Take No Shit, was Boundaries Are Sexy AF, because the idea of creating boundaries that make you feel yourself, your authentic self, makes you sexy to the right people, the right fits for you. And I think that there's probably a lot of people out there that envy you for having had those experiences.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I ran into some of that, but I just move on. I don't take it personal or whatever. And then let me tell you what else I ran into from the women. I had some women say stuff like, "I don't know why I like you."
Yeah. And that's usually that's usually somebody who doesn't really know themselves very well.
Exactly.
But they're seeing something, right? Yeah. And they can't quite put their finger on it because they don't know who they are and what that's responding to in you. But they're responding to it because you know who you are.
Yeah.
And women love men who know who they are. Well, at least heterosexual women love men who know who they are. And men feel the same way most of the time about women. But do you remember back in the pickup artist days, the pickup artist who told men to go for the low self-esteem women?
Oh, yeah.
The women who didn't know who they were. And the reason they did that is because those pickup artists knew that most men didn't know who they were either. And they wouldn't be able to get the high self-esteem women, because those women who have good boundaries, that are healthy in their mind and body and heart, would see right through them. That's some bullshit you're shoveling for me right there, right? So also the idea of I know who I am and I recognize in you that you know who you are. So we can actually come together as equals and figure out what kind of fun we're going to have. That is terrifying to people who don't know who they are and what they really have to offer.
Yeah, that'll scare them.
Yeah.
I got to get away from you. Yeah, I don't talk to her, but I see her. She follows me online. She said that's too much influence for one person to have over somebody. I'm like, what?
See, and that's exactly what I mean. So in that language, she is literally saying, I will not be able to maintain my boundaries around you.
Yeah.
Which to her, I would say, strengthen those healthy boundaries, girl, because no matter what relationship you get into, you're going to need them. Right? Yeah. Like I will tell you this, my partner, I have never in my life met a better human, a better man, a better lover, a better friend, ever. And yet, people will say to me, oh my gosh, the two of you, you're so cute. You're so amazing together, couple goals. And I say, you know what? We're doing good so far. That's the key to me, is that I'm not giving up any of who I am just to be in a relationship with him. And I don't expect that of him either. We're coming together and creating the best possible love of our lives for both of us, right? And that requires good boundaries. It requires us to be able to speak up and say, hey, I need more X, or hey, this thing you did, that doesn't work for me. I don't like it. It's going to cause issues in our relationship. And be able to have those discussions and be healthy about it, and not just be like, oh my gosh, you're so amazing, I'll do anything for you, until like it just doesn't work for me anymore. And then I become a hysterical mess.
Yeah. I think sometimes if the woman doesn't know who she is, and I see something in her, now I do use that to my advantage, but I have good intentions though. I don't do anything that would I don't do anything negative.
Okay, White Knight.
Yeah, I don't do anything negative. Mr.
Fixer-upper, I
hear you. Not necessarily, fixing, but now this has happened quite a few times where it's like she might not understand why she was feeling what she was feeling, but I understand. So I'm like, let's just have fun. Let's just get to know each other, and let's just see where things go. And even though she's kind of like, feeling like, I don't understand why I feel the way I feel or whatever, I said, but it's okay. It's, nobody's, everything's safe. But yeah, that's, yeah, but I know a lot of guys that have abused situations like that.
Oh, I'm sure you do.
Yeah,
I do too. I know a lot of humans that have abused situations like that with other humans.
Yeah.
It's like not, it is not just the men, right? There are predatory, femmes and thems out there as well.
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of like when you meet a brand new person, somebody you never met before, and y'all hit it off, right? Y'all click. Mm-hmm. And maybe y'all move fast. You invite them over, or they invite you over to their house or whatever. And you took advantage of them. You took advantage of their kindness. They might have done something out of the, kindness of their heart or whatever, and you took advantage of them just because.
I'll tell you what, though. Here's the thing. When that happens, you taking advantage of people. Long term, you're only taking advantage of yourself. Yeah. Because every single time you pull shit like that, like the pickup artist community or whatever, every single time you do that, every single time you run that pattern over again, you are affirming to yourself that is the only way you get the relationships, the love, the affection, the bow chicka wow wow, whatever it is, right? Is every time you run that game, you make it harder and harder to not run that game. And you get stuck in inauthenticity, and it's a mess.
Yeah, and those women, or those people, those men and women that I ran into, that we hit it off and we're cool, whatever. They, of course, they had people that did take advantage of them. But they said, hey, but they came back to me. They said, you know what? I always respected you because you never took advantage of me. You was always straight up. I always respected that about you. And, they said, if you ever need anything, you let me know. because they were vulnerable. I could have taken advantage of them because it's a cold world out here, man. Everybody ain't the same. Some people don't see things the same. Some people raised different. Some people are predators. But I just never looked at it like that. I always looked at it like, if I know this person is, a genuine person, I'm not going to shit on them.
Oh, I think that's a really critical viewpoint, right? Like the idea that I am going to treat people with compassion. And I actually, I talk about that in my book. I talk about boundaries and ethics are two sides of the same coin. So boundaries are who we are and how we allow people and things and behaviors into our lives. And ethics are how we choose to treat people even when we don't agree with them, we don't know who they are, whatever. And having compassion is a key element.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's, you use the king of making women come to you. A king, someone with power, real power, not like, all that talk, right? Yeah. But someone with real power. Those are the people who have the strength to be compassionate. If you don't have the strength to be compassionate, even in stressful situations,